Welcome to Home Cooking with Holly. Today we're going to make two of my family's favorite side dishes: roasted broccoli with Parmigiano Reggiano cheese and ginger lime jasmine rice. Alright, I have 2 heads of broccoli here with the stems removed, and I'm just going to cut those up into bite-sized chunks to roast in the oven. I have a pan prepared here with parchment paper on it. You can also use cooking spray if you'd like, just so it doesn't stick. And I'm just going to chop this up, throw it on the pan. Remember to cut only into the stalk. Don't cut the top of the broccoli or you'll get all that dreaded broccoli dust everywhere, and we don't want that. It helps to minimize it by cutting only in the stem here and just kind of peeling it apart. So I'm going to finish putting all of that into my pan, and then I will show you the rest of the way that I prep my broccoli. You can see here I'm cutting the stem and kind of just peeling it apart, pulling it apart. Really does make it easier and less messy. You're always going to get some broccoli dust, but there's no reason you should have a ton of it. I'm just going to clear off my cutting board here. Remember to always use the back of your knife when you're scraping. You don't want to dull the blade. Now that I have the broccoli in the pan, I'm going to add some olive oil, salt, and pepper. So first I'm going to spread it out in the pan so that I can evenly coat it. And then I'll drizzle the olive oil all over it. And then, you know, my best friends, salt and pepper, they're here again. So I'm going to add salt and pepper. And then I'm going to just mix that up with my hands. Now this is a great way to get your kids or your grandkids involved in cooking. Here's one of my granddaughters helping me to mix up the broccoli. She loves to help. And now that we've gotten it all mixed up, I'm going to flatten it back out into the pan just to make sure I have an even layer. We don't want it to be stacked on top of each other because then it won't cook properly. It won't get that nice browning and it'll be more steamed than roasted, and we don't want that. And this is going to go into a 425-degree oven for 15 minutes. Now that our broccoli's in the oven, I'm going to prepare my cheese. I have a little shredded, but I need some more. This is my Parmesan block. You can see on the rind, it's stamped when it's actually Parmigiano Reggiano. It is more costly, but definitely worth it for the nuttiness and saltiness and the flavor. But you can use regular Parmesan cheese, and if you like the green can you can pick up at the store, you can absolutely use that. But this will give it a much deeper, richer, nuttier flavor. So I'm just going to break off the ends of the rind. Obviously don't want to shred that up, but I save these because they add immense flavor to soups, stews, broths, you name it. I also use it whenever I make pasta sauce. And I actually just store these in the freezer. They last pretty much forever, though they never last long for me. Now you can use the small grate size for this cheese. I just prefer to use the shredding side because I like the size pieces of cheese that I get out of it. And I'm going to shred it up. Make sure that you're careful of your fingers and your fingernails. It is very easy to scrape yourself and you don't want to do that. And I keep my cheese in these freezer containers. You can buy them pretty much anywhere. They're freezer safe, microwave safe. And I just am going to add that into what I already have here. I'll probably end up using most of it on the broccoli. All right, now I've added the cheese onto my broccoli, and I'm going to put it back into my 425-degree oven for just 2 to 3 minutes, just long enough for that cheese to melt. Our roasted broccoli is done. It smells so good, but it's crispy where the cheese has melted onto it, and the broccoli is tender, it's salty, it's just absolutely delicious. You can definitely taste the nuttiness in the cheese here. And now I've served it up onto a plate. Absolutely delicious. You want to make sure you get some of that cheese. You can see the little browning on some of it. It's just so good. Now for the ginger lime jasmine rice, what I'm going to do is add 4 tablespoons of butter into a saucepan and let that melt. Now I want to make sure the bottom of the pan is completely coated in that butter. And then to that, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of ginger. I like to use this ginger paste. You can also use minced ginger, or you can even use fresh ginger that you've chopped up very finely, or even grated. And I just want to mix that ginger into the butter and give it just 30 seconds to a minute to cook. To this, I'm going to add 1 cup of jasmine rice. Now, I did not rinse my rice. I know there's a lot of debate on that. It does remove a little bit of starch if you do. I guess the only time I really rinse my rice is when I'm making my saffron rice. And that's because that rice actually needs to soak for an hour before I cook it. That'll be another video in the future. I'm going to mix the rice in to add a whole bunch of that flavor into that rice and brown it up, toast it just a little bit before I add in the water. And I'm going to add 1.5 cups of water to this and bring it up to a boil. Now this will make about 4 nice sized servings. And I'm also going to add 1 pinch of salt to this. Now, as you can see, we've come up to a boil, so I'm going to turn it down to a simmer, and I'm going to let it cook for 15 minutes, stirring it occasionally. And now we're going to prepare the lime. Now I'm going to use a lime. You can also use a lemon. I've done that as well. My son lovingly refers to that as a lemon rice. I think he actually prefers it that way, but my husband and I prefer it this way. Both ways are fabulous. I would eat them either way. But all I'm going to do is grate this zest. You can also buy zest in the store in the spice section if you really don't want to do this part. You can skip it. And you can even buy lime or lemon juice. Usually that's in the produce section. Now you want to be careful to grate all the zest off of this lime, but you don't want to grate the white part. It's very bitter. So once the dark green is gone, I'm going to stop because I don't want that bitter white. And be careful, again, with your knuckles, your fingers, your fingernails. You don't want to grate them by accident. And I'm going to cut my lime in half because I'm going to use the juice of the entire lime. And the rice is ready. It's looking fabulous. So I'm going to add in my lime zest. And I know there's a big debate I've seen online of people juicing fruit cut side up and cut side down in a juicer. So let's do it. I want to show you why I do it the way I do it. So first I'm going to put it cut side up. All right, cut side up, I squeeze. All right, I'm getting some juice out. Okay, now I'm going to put the other slice in cut side down. Wow, yeah, see what a difference. I get so much more juice out of this, and it comes out looking very flat. So I'm going to put the other half back in, cut side down. Oh yeah, I got a lot more juice out of that. And see, I thought I was done with that because I had it already squeezed the other way. So I vote for cut side down. That's the winner. Now I'm just going to stir this all in, add some salt and pepper to taste, and this is ready to serve. And here it is plated up. It's delicious. The rice is tender, and the flavors of the lime and the ginger, the salt, oh, it's just absolutely delicious. Both of these recipes are delicious. I make them frequently. My family asks for them all the time. I hope you'll give them a try. Please let me know in the comments below if you do and what you thought about them. And did you use the lime or the lemon? Done it both ways. Fabulous. It's fabulous. I hope that you'll like and subscribe and follow me for more recipes and cooking tips.